I am scared to watch this movie. Okay, I'm not kidding. This is Sacrifice, the fourth entry in the American Guinea Pig series. I actually have been, like, this has been on the back of my mind for a long time. You guys remember 29 Needles? Yeah, this reminds me a lot of that movie. I haven't seen it yet, but there's a lot of things surrounding this movie that are very similar to that of 29 Needles, and that's not really sitting right with me. Let me give you some information on what this movie is, okay? So the American Guinea Pig movies, as a lot of us already know, are a tribute to the original Japanese guinea pig movies, where they're not exactly the same, but the premise of the Japanese guinea pig movies where there's a lot of gore, alright, there's a lot of practical effects. The American Guinea Pig series is doing the same thing, but trying to turn it up a notch with really realistic gore and stuff. There's a lot of people who are involved in those movies who actually have seen my videos, which is pretty awesome, so if you're watching this, hello. And also, the first three were all, I'm pretty sure, directed by Stephen Bureau, who's also the founder of Unearthed Films, which is pretty awesome. This is the only one in the series that wasn't made for the series. This movie already existed. It was a standalone movie, and I'm pretty sure it was like French. It was either French or Italian, and it's right here. But it was its own standalone foreign film just for the sake of being extreme. And Stephen Bureau saw it and was like, wow, that fits perfectly in my American Guinea Pig series that I'm making. So he got the rights to the movie and then sold it and marketed as the third entry, or actually the fourth. This release says it's the third entry, but it's the fourth. The fourth entry in the American Guinea Pig series, even though it wasn't made specifically for the series. So, that was kind of cool. It's a 2017 film, and there's just a lot of gore. Okay, that's all I know. I don't actually know what it's about. There's a lot of gore. There's a lot of genital mutilation and stuff, which is why it reminds me of 29 Needles. So, this should be really fun to watch. You see that sticky note right there? It's a cock. And it's no longer attached to the man's body. I at least know one scene that happens in the movie, and I am not prepared to see that. Now, me and Gerald here are gonna go watch it, but before we do that, you should subscribe. I'm trying to get to 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Is that gonna happen? Probably not. But I would love for it to happen. That would be amazing. I do a lot of extreme horror movie reviews and normal horror movie reviews and just a lot of physical media. I love collecting things. So if any of that interests you, then make sure to go check out my channel. Thank you very much. Now, let's move on to watching and reviewing Sacrifice. Okay, so we're back. Okay, I hope hopefully I can make this one short cuz there's there's not mu- there's not that much that happens in this movie. Okay. Movie. And that would I mean yeah, it's fine. It's okay. I'm all right. We just finished the movie Sacrifice, the American Guinea Pig 4. But even the title screen of this film says it's the third release. And like this release where I got the 3 media books, it just skipped over the Song of Solomon. So I don't know what's going on there. Also, the person who directed this goes by the name Poison Rogue, which is like the coolest name I have ever heard in my life. I don't think that's his actual name, but if it is, then I might legally change it to that. Alright, and we're gonna be twinning, because Poison Rogue? Yes, please, dude. That sounds so cool. How do people come up with this? But yeah, this is just a film. I know I told you I didn't know what it's about. It's just a guy in a bathroom mutilating himself a lot. So and that's it. That's the whole thing. So there is no other scene other than that. All right, there. I mean, that's the only room that they're in. There's one character. and that it's just him locked in a bathroom doing all that stuff to himself, and that's it for a long time. I don't know how long this movie is. You know, I don't even want to do that. Just if it's this long, there you go. Thank you, future me. Also, this release comes with an extra movie I didn't even know about, and there's an 86-minute long movie called "What Have You Done, Daniel?" And lucky me, it's a prequel to the film I just watched to make sense of it, which I don't know what we're trying to make sense of. But I'll just get into it. It's fine. We have our opening scene. You know, nobody cares about the opening scene. It doesn't matter. It's Daniel. All right, Daniel's our main character, and he's a nice looking man. All right, there's a lot of very, very close up pictures, and a lot of them are kind of zooming in on his eyes, and I'm like, damn, like he's a good looking man. You know, he's like, wow. That doesn't really matter, but Daniel is our character, and he awakes on this bench in the middle of the park, and he awoken from his nightmare that he was having about his father, who's I don't even know, but he has voices of his father. There's like no audio to this. Well, there is, but like it's all narrated through his mind, so like you can hear his thoughts. And it's like really poor, because like this film is originally in English. It's an Italian film, by the way. I figured that out. It's an Italian film from Italy, and it's in English, so they're speaking English. But even when I had the English on, because there's a German option, because this is a German release physically. But even when I had the English on, it's like they added the audio afterwards. It's like they dubbed it anyway, so it's like I don't actually know what language it's in, because like no matter what language I put it in, it all looks dubbed, because it's like it doesn't line up with what their mouth is saying. Not that he says much at all, but it's all narrated through his head, so it doesn't really matter. But he's waking up from this bad dream about like his dad, who's like, Daniel, wake up, Daniel.
Daniel, help me.
I need your hand. He's like, wake up, Daniel. And it's really annoying, because I don't know. And there's just a little,
Help me.
There you go. He's just having a bad dream, and he wakes up, he walks home to his house. He's like, yeah, I grew up in this house. I don't care. Nobody cares. He goes into the bathroom. He shuts the windows, and he lights candles, and he's looking at himself in the mirror. And let me tell you something. There's something a little wrong with Daniel. All right, so Daniel's got there's a little bit something wrong with his brain, because he's not doing good. Okay, mentally he's not doing the best. He's probably been better before, he's just kind of extremely mentally ill is what I'm trying to say. And he's locked in a bathroom by himself with the window shut. He lit candles, and he gets out this giant sack. Or it's not even a sack, it's like this, he has this backpack thing, and he sets it in this thing in this bathroom, and I don't know what it is, because I thought it was a toilet, and I thought he just set his bag in the toilet. I was like, what the hell are you doing? But it's not. It's at the same level as a toilet, but it looks like it's got like sink knobs, and I couldn't see if there was water in it or not. I just don't know. If anybody knows what this is, please tell me. Like, is that like a urinal or something? Like, what is that supposed to be, and why is it in his house? I don't understand. Like, I've never seen that thing in a bathroom before, ever. I don't know what that is for, but if you could tell me that in the comments, please do, because I don't. Anyway, he unravels this thing on top of, I think, the toilet or something, and he has just this arsenal of rusty tools. Joy. Alright, kind of reminded me of like Art the Clown with a sack of stuff, but like he's using them all on himself and not other people. I don't even know how I'm gonna like tell you about this movie, because it's literally just him destroying his body, and I don't know how I'm gonna be able to do that. So, content warning, I guess, even though I already gave you a content warning at the beginning of the video. There's a lot of self-harm in this video. I'm not showing you any of it, but I'm going to be talking about it. None of it actually happened, obviously, because it's all fake, it's all practical effects, but it's just it's just not good to watch or hear about, much less watch for over an hour. So, the first thing that he does, moving on, assuming that you're okay with hearing about this, he gets this giant rusty knife, obviously, because why would it not be rusted over? And he splits his hand open with it. And he does all of this over a sink, too. Just so we know, he's in front of the mirror, and he's like cutting it open and stuff. And then he starts making out with it, and like not the knife, but like his hand. So it's like a big, like he splits it open, and he's sensually licking it and stuff. At that point, I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. I mean, he cut his hand open. Who cares? But it's like, why are you sticking your tongue in there? All right, why are we doing that? Why are we doing that to your hand? All right, and then immediately after every time this is a common theme, okay? After every time he rips something open on his body, he gets duct tape. Well, first he gets a zip tie. He zip ties it around his wrist, like really tight, which that alone makes me uncomfortable. It's like, why are you making the zip ties like zip tying yourself like really tight? Like, just, ugh. I don't know. I just like that made me like uncomfortable. I've never really seen. I don't know. It's just like, ugh. I don't know why that made me more uncomfortable than him ripping his hand open with a rusty knife, but, the zip tie kind of got to me a little bit. And then he also got duct tape and he wrapped it around, like, his wound, like, immediately. So it's like, why are you doing this if you're immediately covering it up and trying to stop it? I don't know. So then he gets the same knife. It might be a different one. It doesn't matter. It's a knife and it's dull. All right, because we can't have sharp knives to make things easy. And he naturally, from his hand, he goes right to his forehead. Because where else would you go? And he starts cutting it. He starts cutting his forehead open with this knife, and he not only start like cutting it, because like at first I'm like, oh, this is kind of like bad, practical effects and stuff. It's kind of cheap, and then there's more. He starts carving into his forehead. So he starts like ripping the skin off and like carving underneath it with this knife, and then he throws it in the sink. He's like, that's not good enough. So he goes and he gets this X-Acto knife. Well, it's not really an exact. It's like a box cutter, those ones with like the different like levels where you move the little thumb thing up and it sticks straight up, and then you can like adjust the height of it. He had one of those. It was nice and clean and sharp. I'm like, there you go. That's what you need. I mean, I don't know why you're getting a dull, rusty knife and doing this. Like, the nice, clean, sharp knife would probably do better. Not that I'm rooting for him or anything like that, but And he starts carving into his forehead more, and it's like, ugh. And it starts raising up, and it's just not. It's not good because and it's like the blood's like pouring all the way down his like face and stuff, and it's going in his mouth. And there's like a lot of zoom in, like very, 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 very close images of all of this happening. And then it zooms in on his mouth, and he's just like licking up the blood. I'm like, ugh, no, anything with your mouth, just stop it. All right, don't stop eating your blood. You're weird. All right, don't do that. That's why, like, when people like cut they get like a prick on their finger and they immediately shove their whole finger down their throat to stop the blood. You're a freak. Okay, if you do that, which I know you do, stop doing that. How about we stop sucking the blood out of ourselves like a vampire? Can we stop doing that? Why is that a normal thing for us to do? All right, anytime somebody cuts their hand, it's like they immediately start gnawing on it, and I don't know why we're doing that. Why is that a thing? I have never once done that, and I never will. That does not help anything at all. Get a Band-Aid, you freak. I'm sorry. Like, I'm not gonna be cutting things and then like, oh, like, why would I do that? I don't know. If somebody can explain the science behind sucking the blood out of a fresh cut, please do. But anyway, they zoom in on his mouth, and this man has braces too, which I think is kind of funny because it's like he's very clearly gonna end his life. But it's like, you gotta keep your teeth straight, Yeah, hygiene's important, But he's also carving like a volcano out of his forehead, and then he moves on to a different knife because the first one wasn't good. I don't know what that was. Who cares? If somebody comes, hello? All right. Well, if somebody comes and kills me, then at least we'll get it on camera. Anyway, he moves on. He gets a different knife because apparently the rusty one, not good enough. The sharp, nice, pristine one, also not good enough. So he gets this tiny little flathead screwdriver that's like this big, and half of it's a handle. You could just tell that thing's been used for years, and it's just, it's disgusting. Like, that thing is probably dirty as hell. Like, look at that. Oh, no, it's probably got, like, grease and stuff all over it. Like, he hasn't cleaned that, and he's shoving that in an open wound in his forehead. Like, it's gonna get infected because the rust wasn't infecting enough. So he starts using that little thing and, like, screwing it, and he's, like, digging it into his head. It's horrible. It's horrible to watch, and it's a very long and drawn out scene, and it's not good. It is not good. And then he's not done yet. After a little cigarette break, because most of like there's like little checkpoints, all right? So he has like little goals, he meets the goals, and then he goes and smokes a cigarette. And then he goes back to mutilating himself. So after he takes a little ciggy break, he goes back and gets a power drill, all right? Just a drill, and he starts drilling into his forehead where he made that open wound, which I literally can't show you any of this movie. So this is going to be like I'm so sorry. It's like 29 Needles all over again, where I can't show you almost any of that movie. But this is even worse because all of it's just gore. All of it's gore, and I can't show you that. All right, I simply cannot do that. But he makes a hole through his head, like through his. I don't know if it goes through his skull. I'm assuming it did, but so now he's just got this giant open hole in his forehead. Oh yeah. And then this was okay. There was actually a point in this movie where I laughed pretty hard. It was, I mean, I don't know how I find laughter and joy in almost every single one of these movies, but I find it. And he sat down. It's just so absurd that this is like so out of place and did not need to be there at all. But he literally sat down. All right, he sat down after drilling a hole through his skull. And he sat down on the floor and he got his iPhone out, all right, because it's 2017. He got his iPhone. He does one of these where he takes, like, from high up, and then he like looks down, so he kind of looks like looking all good with this giant gaping hole in his forehead. Oh yeah, he's also only in his underwear, by the way. He took all of his clothes off except for his underwear, which was probably the most unpleasant part for me. But literally right after he takes the picture of himself laying on the floor half naked with a hole in his forehead, the narrator is his little mind. It goes, I'll post it on Facebook.
I'll post it on Facebook.
So I can drive everyone crazy.
So it'll drive everyone crazy.
Like, you're gonna post it on Facebook. What? Facebook? What a story. What a sick story.
What a story. Such a sick story.
So, Daniel has a little bit something wrong with his brain, as I said earlier. After he has these amazing thoughts of posting that horrible picture of himself on Facebook, he puts the phone down on top of the sink, and he's like, I bet I'll get 18 million likes in an hour.
I bet I'll get 18 million likes in 1 hour.
In an hour. That's exactly what I think every single time I post a video. I'm like, I'm gonna get 18 million likes in an hour. Yes, exactly. That's exactly what's gonna happen. They're gonna see you with a hole in your scalp and be like, yes. Like. It's beautiful. It's perfect. So he's obviously going to be the next greatest influencer on the planet because of him mutilating himself and posting them on Facebook. But after he posts those pictures and becomes famous within an hour, he goes and, there's a close-up shot of his dogs, all right? And I did not want to see his feet at all. It kind of caught me off guard a lot. And then he got the screwdriver out. The same one he was digging around in his skull with. He took that and he placed it right underneath his big toenail. All right, disgusting, by the way. And he's trying to dig it underneath his nail, and it's not working. So he holds it tight, and then he just goes, yeah. He rips his toenail off with a screwdriver, and it didn't come off clean. All right, so it broke in half vertically. So he's ripping half of the footnail, the toenail off. And it's like it's not good, okay? I did not like watching that, okay? I don't like seeing people's feet in general, okay? Especially close-up of a man's toe. But he's also shoving a flathead screwdriver underneath it and trying to pry his toenail off. So that's obviously not adding to the situation here. And it broke in half, obviously, so he got half of it off and then he's ripping the other half, and it's just really, it's good practical effects. It's good. It's just not good for my mental sanity, I'd say. And then we don't see it, but he rips all of the other ones off because that one was way too drawn out to begin with. But he rips, it's just on one foot. Just the one. I think it was his left. I think it was his left foot. I don't know. It really does not matter. But he ripped all of his toenails off of one of his feet with a little miniature screwdriver. And he keeps taking out this book from his bag that he placed in that mysterious bathroom urinal looking thing. And he's like following some ritual for like a goddess or something of like fertility, which I feel like this is a really brutal thing to be doing to yourself for, like a god. But Could just be me. I don't know. Maybe this is normal. He also took the drill and drilled it into his thigh too, and then got another zip tie out and like zip tied his thigh. But like I thought it was supposed to like stop the blood flow to the wound, but like he did it lower than the wound. Like he didn't isolate the wound with the zip tie, so I don't know what the point of the zip tie was. It really didn't make any sense. And also, while he was ripping his toenails off, he bit into his arm so hard that he ripped a chunk out of it, and it started bleeding everywhere. That was also really brutal because he also has braces, so that probably didn't. That's probably the only reason why they gave him braces, because it's like, oh, that must have hurt really extra bad when he was biting himself. Oh, oh no. Okay, can we skip through all? Oh, Wait, when did you take the picture and say those things? I don't want to see that again. Okay, can you talk yet? Did I skip over the part where you talk? No, please don't. Alright, so now... he's ripped open his hand, he's drilled into his thigh, he's ripped open his forehead and drilled into that, and then he's also ripped all of his toenails off of his left foot. Now, he's whipping his cock out. He takes it out. Alright, real. Alright, we see that. Not fake. I was expecting that because that's the only scene that I know of in this movie, but hey, we got a little bonus scene right here that I didn't know about. Just gently places it on the sink. Alright, perfect height. He gets a different screwdriver, alright? So he's got a Phillips head screwdriver. Okay? Thick. Alright, and you know, this is the part where it reminded me a lot of 29 Needles, because there was a lot of this happening in the film, except it was real. I mean, he shoved it in. Alright, he shoved it in. I didn't even know. I'm pretty sure okay, they did good with the prosthetic cock, okay? Hopefully it was prosthetic. It was to the point where I'm like, it could be real. It definitely was not real at all. But they did a lot better than any other movie has with fake genitals and stuff. So that's not good. I almost said good. That's a good, yeah, it's a great thing. But no, it's convincing. Okay, far too convincing. And he's just cleaning it like a chimney with a screwdriver. Not like horribly violently, but like he's I don't really need to give you all of the details, but it did go in and out and back in many times over, for a long time too. All of these scenes are very drawn out and very long, and there's a lot of blood over the sink. So that part happened, and then he threw up all over the sink and then passed out on the floor. I'm so sorry, this is not entertaining. Oh, wait. Before he threw up everywhere, okay, so I forgot to mention that while the screwdriver is inserted inside of him in that place that it should not, I don't even know how it would fit, but it did, he was holding it in there, right? And he's taking a picture. Alright, so he got his iPhone back out, and he's literally just like this on the sink. Alright? On the sink. Right? He's literally has his phone here, and he's just holding this holding it with the screwdriver inside, and he's taking a picture of it over the sink, and then he's taking selfies of him in the mirror with it in him, and he's like, yes, I'm a social idol. I'm a social icon.
I'm a social idol. I'm a social icon.
Why? Because you fit a screwdriver in your cock? That's why you're a social idol? Alright, you think you're the first to do that, bud? No. Alright? I'm sure I could look up on the internet that right now and find results in, like, Google Images. Alright? I am almost 100% positive that I can do that. Am I going to do that? Absolutely not. I'm not going to do that. However, I probably could if I wanted to. Alright? You are not special, my friend. Alright, drilling a hole through your forehead, that might be different, alright? Maybe you are a social idol for that, alright? Maybe you are an icon. Maybe he does have 19 million likes in the first hour that he posted that. Maybe he's right, alright? Maybe I shouldn't even be making fun of him for mutilating himself, but you know what? Who cares? Alright, I'm just saying that part probably, you people are freaky, alright? And I am almost positive that you were not the first for that, bud, alright? So don't even think that's gonna shoot you into the stratosphere of being an icon. But yeah, that he took a picture of that, and then he threw up everywhere, and then he passed out on the floor. And then he keeps having visions of like this random naked woman. And I'm pretty sure this is like the goddess I was talking about of like fertility, but that is not a goddess because her eyes are red. Okay, I'm pretty sure a goddess isn't, a demon. So, she is very clearly evil, and she's always like covered in. I don't think she's always covered in blood, but she is at some point. She just, I mean, I guess sometimes you get a little break by seeing this woman's massive tits and her like pretending to laugh in like in the camera. But there's very clearly she's not actually laughing. She's just going. And then they added somebody laughing over it. It's like, why didn't you just have the actor laugh? Like, is she really that bad at doing like an evil laugh? Like, what are we doing? Why? This doesn't make any sense. All right, we're gonna come back down to earth here for this next scene, which is the big scene. Because if the screwdriver wasn't enough for you, don't worry. He wakes up after his little nap on the floor and goes over and sits down on the toilet, and he gets out the rusty knife from before when he cut his forehead open. I'm pretty sure it's the same one. And, he stretches out his honker and then starts sawing away at it around like at the like not even like like at the base, like just sawing away. And ooh, boy, that is some some. Okay, I need to get. He's literally taking a picture of his cock with a screwdriver in it on the screen right now. We can get rid of that. So so he starts sawing away like there's no tomorrow, and he's naturally in pain and can't really do it, so he gets a zip tie. And he wrangles it around his trunk. These zip ties are really getting me, okay? I don't know why the zip ties are almost the worst part for me. It's just, why are you cinching a zip tie to your... Alright, why are you cinching zip ties as tight as you can to your body? It's just... something about that that's just not good. Alright, and especially around there. Like, you're not getting that off. Like, in order to get a zip tie off that's that tight, you need to squeeze a really sharp object underneath it to cut it. And down like that, you should not be doing that down there. But even though... it doesn't matter because he's cutting it off. So I guess it doesn't really, I don't think he really cares about sharp objects too much. I guess that's just a me thing, but, but practical effects for that scene, alarmingly good, okay? Way too good, way better than I was hoping that they would be. So but that knife didn't work, so he zip ties it, and then he pulls a kitchen knife. A full-size kitchen knife out of his bag where he's got zip ties and power tools. And then he saws it off. And this part is actually disgusting. I don't even know if YouTube's going to let me do anything with this video. It's probably not going to be monetized at all. Who cares? But he cuts the whole thing off and just splats on the ground. I should not be saying this. This does not matter. This is not a thing that matters. After he cuts off his third leg, it literally just splats on the ground. It's very disturbing. It's it was pretty funny because it's like this whole climax thing, and then it's completely silent. It's just like, I don't know, it was kind of funny, but it's gone now. Castration complete. So now it's bath time. So he fills up the tub, he gets in the tub, and then he takes a giant kitchen knife and opens his stomach up with it, and then pulls his intestines out while he's in the bathtub. Because it's like, yes, finally, it's bath time. We have to bathe in the blood. I don't know why I gave him a Dracula voice. He was kind of enjoying the taste of his own blood, so I guess that fits. But yeah, he rips his intestines out. We don't really see that too much because it's all kind of underwater. But then there's a scene of the naked woman emerging from the tub instead of him, and then she's taking his iPhone and taking pictures of herself, naked, covered in blood in the mirror, to imply that, he was reborn into a different universe or a different realm as a woman. And now he's free, and the ritual was complete because he wanted to just turn himself into a fertile woman in a different realm. I don't know, there's some religious thing that it explained a little bit at the end of the film that I didn't really understand, but it was a lot of the goddess and her being fertile, and then turning men into women was also part of it, and that's kind of just what happened. And also, while this giant naked woman was coming out of the bathtub, there was a scene of her placing her bare foot on the bathroom floor, and his severed cock was just laying there on the floor. I was like, no, she almost slipped on it. I was like, I was actually prepared for her to like step on it and slip on it like a banana peel in a cartoon, because it was literally just laying there. I was like, oh, do you know what it would feel like to slip on a severed? Do you know what that would feel like? I don't even want it. Like, oh, that would be awful. It's like stepping on a giant caterpillar. All right, I gotta stop. But then there was a scene after that where it showed us his dead body in the tub when he's just decaying and he's all green and decrepit. Which is actually pretty cool. Like the decaying body was really cool, and there's like maggots everywhere, and it was like going in like the hole in his forehead and everything, and his like intestines and stuff. I don't know, it was pretty cool. All right, that part was like, dang, literally looked like a zombie. Like that was really good. And then the movie ends. So that's all that happened. It is quite literally just a man in a bathroom destroying his body with various power tools and rusty objects. And I did not like that. I did not like that at all, actually. That was really bad. And usually my notes that I have they usually go right down to the end, and this is just at half, because there's almost nothing notable and the scenes are really long and drawn out. So no, I didn't like that movie. That I know it wasn't made for the American Guinea Pig series specifically. It was already its own thing, but it has a lot of similarities, kind of like Mermaid in a Manhole, where like I think the Song of Solomon had more hints to a mermaid in a manhole, but like this was also, it all happened in the same room, just like that movie, and there was a lot of really gross things that was happening, just like that movie. This also, I think this is more closely connected to like He Never Dies, because He Never Dies is basically just a comedy. If you haven't seen that review, you should go check it out. But it's just this man who figures out he can't die and then just like mutilates his whole body, which is basically the same thing that happened here, except the other one was funny and this one was not funny, except for the fact that he was posting on Facebook while he was doing it. That part was actually quite hilarious. I rewind that like 3 times to hear him say it again, because it was just such a ridiculous thing to say.
I'll post it on Facebook.
Like, why do you know you're gonna kill yourself in about an hour? I guess an hour is all he needs for 18 million likes, though, huh? But yeah, I don't really have anything to say about this other than the practical effects were really good. There's absolutely no plot, and I was extremely uncomfortable the entire time. I was curled into a ball. Alright, usually I'm not doing that. Maybe there's some scenes where I'm like that, but this whole thing, I was kind of repulsed while watching this, so way different from the last video where it was an actual movie. I need Laid to Rest to come back. Can Chrome Skull show up instead? Because that was a little rough. That was a little rough. Anyway, Gerald, gore score, go. Thanks, buddy. There's his gore score, and also, if we reach inside of his head, you know what? I'm gonna reach in the hole in his forehead this time, which is actually really cool because the disc, which is not in here that I can't show you, the disc in this, like the whole of the actual physical disc is right on his forehead, and oh dang it. And when I was like reviewing that, I didn't get the reference because I didn't see the movie yet. So hold on. I'm so sorry, Gerald. Alright, there we go. We have Sacrifice, a tiny version of Sacrifice. This is an alternate artwork for the movie. This is just a special release. I did do a review on this if you want to see that. But let's get the Board of Extremity out, shall we? Welcome, one and all, to How Extreme Is It, the actual game show. You got to the How Extreme Is It part. Oh my goodness, you're amazing. You've made it. This is the Board of Extremity, if you couldn't tell. Alright, and we've got 5 stages of grief. We have stage 1, which is green. That is barely extreme. Stage 2, not terrible, which is white. We have stage 3, it's uncomfy, which is yellow. And we've got orange, that's pretty bad, which is stage 4. And stage 5 is red. And that's scarring, baby. And of course, at the top, we have the most extreme movie of this season, which is currently episode number 12. 29 Needles. So if you want to go see me get scarred again, go see that one, because that is the most extreme movie of this season, and it is on the top spot. Now, we have the small version of Sacrifice, and where do I think Sacrifice should go compared to every movie I have reviewed in the entire show so far? I'm gonna need a drum roll, please. In 3, 2, 1. Bang! Oh. That's right. That's right. Oh no. Don't mind me, I just threw the remote into the sink. However, this is a red. I have not. Do you see how there is nothing in the red section right now? Well, I guess 29 Needles is. 29 Needles is the only other movie that I have ranked scarring so far. Oh my goodness, and you may be like, how on earth did you just rank scarring above every other movie other than 29 Needles? What are you talking about? Are you insane? Hear me out. Okay, I know a lot of these rankings, you may look at them and be like, you're actually crazy. I don't know what you're doing. Why do you, like, you're insane. You're stupid. However, although I agree with some of those, let me explain, alright? The other two American Guinea Pig films, Bouquet of Guts and Gore, alright? Same premise. Everyone's in one room and it's just two women getting brutally butchered, alright? However, practical effects, great, alright? I don't have a problem with those, those are very realistic. However, they go so overboard with it where it just breaks all of reality and it's just solely focused on practical effects because you know that nothing like that, I mean, it's almost cartoonish how over the top they go with it. I've explained what they could have done to make it scarring in my opinion, so go watch that. Also, Bloodshock, basically the same thing again, where it's just the people getting tortured the whole time and really, really brutal practical effects, amazing practical effects. However, there are very many scenes in between the brutal torture scenes which kind of distract you from it for a while. And there's a few kind of goofy things that I think happen in that movie because I think everything's funny. So it kind of distracts you a little bit, you know? Also, Antichrist, you may be like, there's literally genital mutilation in that one. Why is that not higher up? That's low and that's pretty bad. And that's because most of the movie, you don't get anything graphic, alright? For most of it. There's only like 2 scenes that are absolutely, completely scarring that I'll never get out of my head, but that's not enough to be in scarring, alright? Just because a scene or 2 is bad doesn't mean the whole movie is completely unwatchable, you know? This is a very potent movie, okay? There's not really much of any break or anything funny that happens. Like, if the Facebook joke wasn't in the movie, there would be nothing I could find that's funny. And that is very hard to do for me, okay? This is very potent. They keep going. You don't get really any breaks. And it's for me, self-mutilation is harder to see than other people getting killed. I don't know why. Because they start off small and then it just keeps getting worse and it keeps getting worse and it keeps getting worse and it just doesn't stop, alright? And it's bad. It's really good practical effects. And that's all it is. That is all it is. So I don't think this is watchable for any normal human being. I don't think really any of the American Guinea Pig films are watchable for the normal human being. However, this one is just, there's no breaks and it's far too realistic. Alright, because it's not really extremely over the top. All of it is completely doable by man. And it's just, it freaks you out because it keeps you in reality. Low end scarring. There you go. Our first scarring movie that's actually staying there, not going to the top. This is not worse than 29 Needles. I highly doubt I will really ever find a movie that's worse than that. I'm going to be completely honest with you. That movie is has scarred me. There are multiple things in that movie that I literally cannot get out of my head. Not good. That movie cheated. Okay, I'm calling that movie cheated. However, I watched it, and there's no way I'm just not going to rank it, so I don't know how anyone is going to watch this video that I just made about this review and go, yes, what I just saw was extremely entertaining. If you found this entertaining, then please let me know, because I can probably show you 0 clips from this movie, and it's just, I don't think this is even possible to be monetized due to what I'm talking about. So if the editing sucks, I apologize. There's really not much I can do about it. But there you go. That's the review of the 4th American Guinea Pig movie, Sacrifice, by Poison Rogue and adopted by Stephen Biro. If we want to go over quickly what these other movies are, just really quick as a quick recap if you care. Devil Doctor Woman here is at the bottom. And Barely Extreme, not terrible. We have All Hallows Eve, Human Centipede. It's Uncomfy. Low end, we have Devil's Experiment, He Never Dies, Android of Notre Dame. High end, it's uncomfy. We have Flower of Flesh and Blood, Christmas Cruelty, Mermaid in a Manhole, and Laid to Rest. That's pretty bad. Low end, we have The Bunny Game, Antichrist, The Song of Solomon. High end, that's pretty bad. We have Bouquet of Guts and Gore and Bloodshock. And finally, low end Scarring, we have Sacrifice. And up at the top, we have 29 Needles. So, there's your recap. There's everything. If you were watching to the very end of this video, which is right now, Gerald has a pin for you. What do you want to say? No, dog. No. You're already pushing it with a lot of these pins, dude. What do you... Dude, don't bite my ear. Okay, so, if we... I'm going to make this PG, because Gerald is just... I don't even know why I have him here, but if you comment down below, I love screwdrivers, then you will be pinned to the top of the comment section. Thank you very much. So yeah, I guess if you're sacrificing your own life for some fertile goddess from some random religion, then I guess just be prepared to zip tie the base of your cock and cut it off with a kitchen knife.